Some people say that with our new smart devices, there will ultimately always be humans in the driver's seat. I don't know who or what that was, but it wasn't human. Like always, it starts with something small. I cautiously take just a few trips in self-driving taxis, and eventually, I slowly but surely give in to the hype. Now, I don't treat myself often, and my old car is almost defunct anyway. In a decision that I now think was made far too quickly, I'm riding off the used car lot in my new personal self-driving car. Well, it's new to me, anyway. It was previously owned by a car rental company, so it's been regularly maintained and is in almost totally pristine condition. The ride is so smooth. The window is down and the wind is lightly flowing through my hair. Even though it's in self-driving mode, I am sitting in the front seat behind the wheel, just in case I need to take over. At this point, even though I just bought it, I'm still slightly nervous that things could go wrong. I close my eyes and attempt to just relax. I turn the radio on and listen to the news anchor's voice drone on.
Local authorities are still searching for Alex Warczek, who was reported missing 2.5 weeks ago.
I feel the car slowing down for the final time as it approaches my driveway. It carefully goes forward and reverses, maneuvering itself into the parking space closest to my front door. I exit my new prized possession and walk up to the house, locking the doors behind me. A little while later, I come back out to my car to go on a grocery run. I hop in, plug in the store's address, and recline my seat back, settling in for the quick journey. Or so I thought. I'm lying back with my eyes closed when I notice that we seem to be turning just a little too often. Also, it feels like I've been in here for longer than I should have, given the store's short distance away. I sit up to find myself inching up to the stop sign at the intersection of Daisy and Duval, which is on the way to the store. However, when the light turns green, the car goes forward and veers off to the side street on the right, which isn't correct. I look over at the navigation screen next to the wheel, which outlines the route. It shows that we are deliberately going the wrong way. Before I could step on the brake and take it out of self-driving mode, the car suddenly slows back down and parks itself. I look around. I am just off the shoulder of the road, where the concrete ends. Just a few feet from the front of the car is the tree line on the edge of a large forest. At first, I'm thinking that the car is broken, that the dealership sold me a lemon. But then it occurs to me that the car may have detected something wrong with itself and pulled over to a safe spot before stopping. Hoping it's the latter, I check everything. The fuel line, the gauges, it all seems to be in working order. I decide to just disable the self-driving mode and head to the store as planned. Afterwards, when I'm at home, I go on the web and try to find out what the issue might have been. Countless forums and FAQs don't seem to provide any knowledge that would diagnose this particular problem. Great, I think. Well, if it happens again, I'm going back to the dealership to use my maintenance warranty. The next morning, as per my routine, I get up to go to the gym. With my fingers crossed, I hop back into my car and enable the self-driving mode. I set the gym as my destination and say a silent prayer. I ride past the entrance to my neighborhood and get onto Main Street with a wide right turn. I let out a breath of relief. So far, so good. Then, once we approach Duval Street, the car hangs another right, which is incorrect. Again, I switch my attention over to the navigational screen, which displays the correct route and shows the car's icon moving away from it. Shit, not again, I think. Before hitting the brake, I decide to pause and let the car continue going on its own. Seeing what it does next just might help me find the problem. It continues cruising down Duval Street before it pulls up, again, to the intersection of Daisy and Duval. and just like last time, it veers to the right, approaches the forest off the shoulder of the road, and parks. The exact same spot, down to the tire marks in the grass. I don't know what could possibly explain this. Previously, I thought it could have been a safety protocol or something similar to that, but this time, it went all the way across town to get to the exact same place it brought me last time. Frustrated, confused, and fed up, I disable the self-driving mode and forfeit my journey to the gym to drive straight to the dealership and get this figured out. Once I'm there, I explain the issue I've been having. The mechanic looks just as confused as I am. He ultimately decides to recalibrate the navigational system, as that's what appears to be the malfunction. Afterwards, because I'm still dressed for it, I decide to resume my trip to the gym. This time, the self-driving mode is working flawlessly. In just under 10 minutes, my tires come to a halt placed perfectly in a stall at the gym's parking lot. I exit the car, smiling with satisfaction, and head into the gym. A little over an hour later, I walk through the gym's exit, freshly showered. Once I'm in the car, I set it in motion towards home. Just a few minutes into the ride, I'm staring out the window, completely zoned out, before I see the sign for a pawn shop located on the south end of town. I sit up and look at the navigational screen, now totally alert to the fact that I am miles further away from home, with the car taking several incorrect turns once again. This time, however, I'm not headed towards the spot beside the forest, but in the opposite direction. Once again, I allow the car to continue uninterrupted before it pulls into the police department's guest parking lot. I hang my head, exhausted. I am so tired of this. Why am I here now? Did the mechanic screw something else up? Why is everything so fucked? I slam my fist onto my dashboard before disabling the self-driver mode and driving back up onto the road. I'm heading back to the dealership. This time, I'm not going to be so kind with my words. All of a sudden, the steering wheel begins moving the opposite direction of my intent, sliding roughly beneath my fingers. I grip the wheel tightly, its wood burning my skin. It's no use. It's steering all on its own. I slam on the brake, which doesn't budge underneath my foot. I look down to see the gas and brake pedals rising and lowering by themselves. Even with self-driving mode off, the car is resisting every act of my direction. I'm desperately trying to regain control of the vehicle as it continues driving westward towards Daisy Street. It then makes a sharp U-turn past the intersection of Daisy and Duval before slowing down and inching up to the familiar spot by the forest. I reach over and grab the door handle to get out, but that is when the door locks audibly engage. I frantically stab at the vehicle unlock button with my finger, to no avail. With no idea what to do next, while panic pulses through my veins, I yank my phone out of my pocket and begin dialing 911, when suddenly, the navigation screen abruptly shuts off, and then turns on again. I stare at the bright white screen, displaying dark blue text, which is read by a woman's loud, robotic voice through the speakers.
Good afternoon, Alex Warzek. Thank you for choosing Joyride Rentals. Where would you like to go?
Before I can even formulate a thought on what to do next, the car quickly backs up onto the street, makes a U-turn, and drives onward, back the way I came. Why is the car doing this? Why can't I regain control? Who the hell is Alex Warzek? My phone is up to my ear within seconds, with the 911 dispatcher on the other end of the line.
911, what's the location of your emergency?
Hi, yeah, I'm at the intersection of 13th and Duval. I'm stuck in a self-driving car. It just
Okay,
won't
sir,
let me
I'm
get
going
control
to need
back.
you to slow down. Is the
All
car
right.
moving?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, the car is heading up to 11.
Okay.
We just
okay.
passed
Can you
11.
describe the car for me?
Okay. My focus is ripped away from the call as I realize that the car is approaching the police station. It pulls into the station's parking lot just like it did last time. I'm no longer moving. Suddenly, I hear the audible click of the door's unlocking mechanism. I open the door.
Hello?
Hi, yes, thanks. I don't need help anymore.
Oh.
The car stopped.
Okay, sir.
Thanks. I hang up the phone and get out of the car, slamming the door in anger behind me. I don't even know what the hell I'm going to tell the police. Can they even help me in this situation? I walk in through the lobby's entrance and approach the clerk's desk. I tell her I need to speak with an officer. She says she'll have one come out to meet with me. As I'm sitting there in the lobby waiting, my eyes wander about the room until they land on a missing persons poster tacked to a bulletin board. My eyes freeze and my heart sinks. There is a picture displayed of a young man, probably in his 20s, with blonde hair. Just underneath the image, in big black letters, reads the name Alex Warjek. Just then, the back door opens and 2 officers come out to speak with me. I describe in detail the events that have taken place since I drove that damned thing off the used car lot. Upon hearing the name that the car's navigational system read at the forest, the officers became very interested in the situation. They asked me if I could join them and guide them to where the car would park over there. I agreed to their request and we head out in a patrol vehicle. We arrive at the spot before 2 officers decide to walk into the woods while one stays back and speaks with me about the car. Almost 15 minutes pass before the 2 officers return, their faces beaming with determination. They claim that they found some disturbed ground in the woods. More officers arrive on the scene with a cadaver dog, and one of them drives me back to the station. I agree to stay at the station for a while in case they have other questions for me. Almost an hour passes. I'm sitting inside of the lobby drinking some coffee when a breaking news alert is boomed through the speakers on the lobby's television. The screen is displaying the spot by the forest I've become all too familiar with these past 2 days, now being taped off from the public. There are multiple squad cars shown next to a police sergeant being interviewed. The large text at the bottom of the screen reads, "Breaking. Human remains discovered in local forest." My eyes are glued to the screen. What the fuck? The back door opens into the lobby and a detective walks out. He asks that I provide a witness statement. I agree to do so. Once I'm finished giving my statement, I have the car towed back to my place. After everything that's happened, I just can't be inside of it right now. I keep myself updated on the case as more information is revealed to the public. Sure enough, 2 days later, the remains are identified as those of Alex Warjek, the man who was missing for almost 3 weeks. Since then, I am without a car, as the police requested temporary custody of it as evidence during their investigation, which, I won't lie, I am more than content with. I mean, look, I'm no expert on technology, and I'd never claim to be, but nothing over the past 2 days seems coincidental. Was that just a random destination of a malfunctioning navigation system? Or was there something else at play here? I doubt I'll ever know for sure. I can only hope that the next time these self-capable gadgets start acting up, I'm far from them.